Oh,
hello. Mitch, how are you doing?
all right, mate. How are you doing? Where's Steve
Merry
gone?
Christmas.
Absolute classic. What an absolute classic. Virgin Media doing a Christmas special and they decide to knock us on the head. And I'm listening to the music. I just saw Spenny in the green room starting to dance, and then off he went. And then off I went. So never mind. Here I am. My picture's crystal clear these days, but when it dips off, that's it. I just don't know where I'm going to go. So the thing is, you're all pros now. Anyway, welcome along to the Christmas special. Thanks, lads, for coming along to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I know there's going to be a few guest appearances from the other shows tonight. As always, plenty to talk about with regards to Newcastle United. And I've got to start with a cup exit, lads. Disappointing, but not unexpected. I think between the three of us, we've had more disappointments than most. And it didn't come as any surprise, Mitch, did it really?
Nah, not really. I don't think anybody was surprised by it at all. And even more frustrating, you can't turn around and say, "Oh, well, it was a weakened team," because they had made 6 changes. I mean, I was discussing it last night with a lad called Gareth out here, who's a friend of ours, who was a Brentford fan, and even he was blown away by the team that they put out. They had a winger at one fullback, they had a fullback at centre back, one centre back playing, and the left back's usually a right back, something like that. I mean, come on, and that's a championship squad, and yet somehow it just doesn't feel unexpected. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You get to the quarterfinals, Steve. But you look, Mitch. You look at what we've got. You look at what we've got, and we've got a good team. We've got a good squad. We've just got a poor manager.
That, on the face of that result, that was utterly and totally unacceptable and indefensible. I don't see anybody who can make a case for the defence of that performance under that manager. And I hate saying it. I think we've said before, nobody more than me would love to see a local lad manage the team and manage them to some sort of success. And I wouldn't care even if it was a lucky run all the way to the final, But it just you can't defend that. That is totally indefensible. Full stop.
Yeah, Steve, it was disappointing, but I suppose, as Daz put it on the match commentary the other day, well, we can concentrate on the relegation battle now.
Exactly, yeah. You know what? Following on from what Mitch was saying, it was the manner of the defeat. It was the fact that they looked, for all the talking that we'd had since the weekend, it looked like they'd never met. It looked like they had no tactics. There was no style of play. It looked like he just thrown 11 players onto the pitch and said, yet again, by the way, and just said, get on with it and see what we can do. You're playing lesser opposition. It's a chance to get into a semi-final, lads. Go out and play football. No, that's not what happens. What needs to happen is that there needs to be a plan, and usually you would have expected that plan to have been worked on, in training and. In the room, in the video room, and in the conference room, where they would talk over what he wanted from them, taking each player to one side, explain to them what, and then them go out. If that happened, and then they still put a performance like that, then those players really, really need to look at themselves, and they really need to question whether or not they're the right sort of footballers for Newcastle United. If it didn't happen like that, then ditto Steve Bruce. That's my opinion on it. Because at the moment I'm getting the impression that there is no organisation, there is no tactics, there's no style of play. We have no coherence between defence and attack. We don't know. We have fullbacks who don't know whether they're playing wing backs or fullback. We have central defenders who don't know whether they're a midfielder or a central defender. I know we've been hit by COVID to a greater or lesser extent over the last few weeks, but these are professional footballers, and you expect them. I described it to somebody a couple of weeks ago as the thoroughbred horses, absolute thoroughbred sportsmen. These guys are at the top of their game, the top of the profession, and they've been coaxed and cajoled and looked after some of them since they were 10-year-old to be professional footballers, in the same way as you take a racehorse and you would follow it through and you'd know what it, quite honestly, some of those that would never be classed as racehorse, and some of them will be shot for blooming horse meat. To be honest, because it's shocking. It really is.
Glue and mattress stuffing.
Yeah, if the glue factory in Walker was still around, can you imagine the stench that would be from this?
I mean, what was Shelby doing last night? At times he was playing like a third centre back.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of setup's that?
Well, that's the ball, isn't it?
But then that compounds what you were saying about the fullbacks not knowing whether they're fullbacks or wingbacks. Because when Shelby drops into that very, very deep, and I detest this comparison, the quarterback role as people talk about it. It's not like a bloody quarterback.
More like a field kicker,
but different. But then the fullbacks, I guess, should then be bombing on to be more like wing backs because there's a 3. But then we had then Longstaff trying to do the same thing. So we had this massive hole in the centre of the midfield with a gap where Wilson's up on his own. You've then got, he's supported by what and by who? Who's running on from midfield? It was just a shambles. And we had, there was no way we were forcing any sort of chance unless it was a lucky one.
She went out and looked as though they were frightened of a championship team with 6 changes. I thought their coach had he lulled them in. He lulled Bruce into a false sense of security. He named his team. He made 6 changes as if to say, "Let's see how good you are." And he kept Tony, which was banging goals in for fun. He kept him on the bench as though it was like a temptation. Well, see if he can come and get you. And if you can't produce anything, tell you what, I'll bring this lad on and he will destroy you. But by then it's been destroyed, because the confidence of our team is completely and utterly shot.
Yeah, I tell you what, I didn't expect some of the stuff that George talks about. Yeah, Lee Clark had it spot on last night. Tactics from the back, instant pressure on us all the time. Lee Clark and Steve Howe telling it how it was yesterday, and it made a refreshing change after hearing some of the pundits, Mitch, on TV over the last few months. It has to be said, pundits seem to have one opinion of Newcastle, but Steve Howe and Lee Clark, they've pulled the black and white shirt on with pride, and they certainly shot from the hip last night. There was no old pals act from Steve and Lee yesterday.
I don't know if you saw Martin O'Neill on Scottish television with his rather wonderful, visceral takedown to some of the same pundits that we're referring to about them having been bottom feeders during their career. So who the heck are they to stand and then talk about like they're experts of the game now? I think that's that sums it up beautifully for me. Some of them have got no bloody idea. Most of them are quite happy to trot out boring, stereotypical diatribe platitudes along the lines of what do we expect and what do we want. But my bar for the next 3 games is to take any points we can out of the next 3 games and not have a massive hole burst into our goal difference. That's it. That's my bar for the next 3 games. So, am I being unrealistic in expecting that? I'm not even saying I want to win any of them, just not to get 3 humpings in a row, because that's exactly what we're lined up to happen. We could go through the worst 3 games in our history in a row in the next 3 games. If we play like that with the 3 teams we're playing, the way those 3 teams are scoring goals at the minute, we could ship 15, 16 goals in 3 games. Easily. I just want to look, we've only got an hour. We've both all agreed to come on. It's Christmas Eve, we've got families to keep happy. I just want to give a push to this. Last chance to bid for the Christmas NUFC Matters t-shirt. All proceeds to the food bank. On my Twitter, @SteveWraith, pinned to the top. Get your bids in. Last chance to bid for it. Really good t-shirt. 3 Amigos. Only a one-off as well. And that's a big thank you to qtechshop.co.uk who've provided us all these t-shirts and helped us raise
raise a lot of money for the food bank, and that's cutexshop.co.uk, based in Newcastle in Wallsend, makers of pool tables and snooker tables. And big thank you to newworkwear.com, who've sponsored us all December, continue until the end of the month. Specialists in the supply and branding of clothing for the workplace. Great thanks to them. They've sponsored the StreamYard app. Now, we have got some special guests coming in, and with it being Christmas, it's always good to see Ant and Deck. Hello, lads.
Hey, lads.
Hey,
Happy
lads.
Christmas.
How are you? Happy Christmas.
It's the Irish Ant and Deck, and of course, running the match day live as you were when I was otherwise engaged last week. Of course, it hasn't gone to your heads, lads.
No, not at all, Steve.
No,
Not at all.
not in the slightest. No. I mean, I'm surprised you're still keeping up with these two old fogies for an hour. But anyway, if that's the trend, then that's up to you. But look, we know they're on borrowed time, so that's okay. We're ready whenever. We're here. We're ready whenever.
Hang on a sec. Oh,
Do you really want that membership at the Tyneside Irish Centre cancelled? Because I can arrange it very easily.
Yeah.
I told you he'd be dashed. I told you he'd be harsh, didn't I? I told you.
lads, we're started a new job today, lads. We're working with Sky now. But there's one thing. I don't know why we left matters for this. Like, Graves, Pete, mate. What's in this tea? Desperate. And put it in one of those Q-Tech Irish Anton-Deck mugs as well. Shocking.
Yeah, I tell you, no Q-Tech. This John Justice Judge fella, who whatever he calls himself. Every time he puts a tweet up, he keeps leaving the two of us out. I'm gonna have to look for a new sponsor shortly. Hold on, that's me. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Sorry. Hello. Not now. I'm on the telly, man. I'm on the telly with the two old ones, the ones that normally do 3 hours and bore everyone on a Friday. I know. I told him. I've told the baldy last stop, but he won't. He gave us one shot. Hang on a minute. What do you mean? I know. It is good money, but listen, I'm not prepared to work with Sutton and Savage. I've told you that. I'm not working with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. No. Get us on with Lineker and Shearer and Wright. I might talk to you. Hang on a minute. Daz, they want to know, do we want to do talk sport with the rest of those idiots?
Only if Humphrey is available. We'll only do it with Humphrey. He's the man.
Check. We'll only do it if Barry Humphries is available. He's not there no more. What do you mean? Who's in charge then now? Hang on. Apparently it's not Barry Humphries, Daz.
Jake. We'll go with Jake.
Jake. All right, hang on. Can we work with Jake then? No, only Savage and Sutton. No, we're out then, lads. We'll stick with the baldy one. Right, see you later.
Hey,
All right,
not like hedging your bets.
Fantastic. I tell you what, I think we need your script writers, Ant and Deck. Well done. Honestly, I just want to say to Daz and Martin, they've been absolutely superb, being part of the NUFC Matters family from the start. We knew nothing about this, by the way, so all credit to the guys. Listen, lads, you have a great Christmas. Look forward to getting you on tomorrow for well, I don't know whether we can call it a football match, but it is. There is a football match on the 26th. I'll see you on Boxing Day, lads. Have a good Christmas.
Take care, lads. Have a good one.
To everyone, have a good Christmas, guys, and especially from me, obviously tough second half of the year. So I just want to say, Steve, Mr. Hasty, Mitch, and Daz in particular, thanks for the support to me in a really tough time. So have a great Christmas, and we'll see you all soon.
Bring on the
Top man. Thanks very much, lads. Great stuff. Well done. Great to have the lads on. Absolutely superb. The Irish Ant and Deck. You kind of beat them, and we have got a few more people waiting in the green room. So I think we'll bring in someone special. Yeah, and it's George. How are you, George?
Fine, Steve. Thank you. Good to see you all.
Afternoon, George.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, son.
Good to see you, George. And as always, you're sitting in your favourite chair there, looking across at Mitch. Any messages for Mitch across in the desert before Christmas? You obviously won't see him like a lot of us. We won't see our dads. I won't see my dad tomorrow. But you've got thousands of miles between you. Any message to Mitch?
Well, just look after yourselves. You know how we feel about you, Neil. Mum's upstairs in bed because she had a bad night last night, actually.
Oh dear.
we had a visit to the RVI after we spoke to you, actually.
Right. Okay. I'll touch base with you later, Dad.
She's fine. She's having a sleep and is okay. And Sarah's already delivered her Christmas dinner, so that's in the fridge to eat tomorrow. So we're fine. We'll just be us, but what better company could we have than the pair of us that been together since we're 16? So we're fine. We're fine.
Well, passing our best. Passing our best.
It's weird for us. It's weird for us because normally at this time of the year, my mum and dad would be over, and also the eldest two because they're both back in the UK now. So it's funny, Lou and I just been talking about that and about tomorrow's going to be a bit bittersweet because we're going to a place my dad knows very well, the Hilton Spa here in Westlacamer, and always put a very good Christmas spread on. So we're going to enjoy it. Yeah, we're going to enjoy it. But yeah, it is a bit bittersweet. The miles do seem a little bit further at the moment, it has to be said.
Yes, it's slightly weird for the two Steves, although Steve Hasty knows what it's like. But the place Neil's talking about is fantastic. But you're sitting there having your turkey, your roast potatoes, your pigs and blankets, and watching India go down a great big water slide into a big splash. And you're thinking, is this really Christmas? Yes, and it was. The other ironic thing is it was in Dubai Christmas, just 2 years almost to the day when we first realised that Marjorie had Alzheimer's, because she, Neil remember, she had a big row with a waiter about the sweet, and the waiter showed her a picture of a banana split, and Mum said, yes, cheesy nuts, that's what I want for me. That's what I want for me sweet.
Cheese nuts.
No, it's not cheese nuts, Mrs. It's a banana split, and I know what cheese nuts looks like. And it was getting rather hot, so we realised there was something wrong. And that was when the bells started.
Well, listen, great stuff, George. I hope you have a really good Christmas. We just want to thank you for being part of NUFC Matters. I know you're a big favourite of everybody who tunes into the Retro Show. Lots of people love hearing your stories and your memories. You have a good Christmas, and we'll look forward to welcoming you back in the new year.
Can I just say Merry Christmas to you all?
Great stuff. Great to have George. Great.
Big thank you to the three of you as well, because doing this has given me something else to do. And as you probably see from my Twitter feed, I get lots of lads tweeting and saying, was Albert Stubbins really a good footballer and all this sort of thing? So I get a chance to really reminisce a little bit and do some nice things. So thank you to you for letting me be part of this, because I've said to you, Steve, privately, this platform, the Three Amigos, is a winner, and you know, strengthen your elbow for doing it and keep it together. Keep the 3 years together. It's a start. I mean, now I watch you three, and then tomorrow's newspapers, I'll be looking to see what the newspapers are saying that they've picked up off you. So thank you. That's all I wanted to say. Happy Christmas, and thank you very much indeed.
You've noticed that as well, George. I'm pleased to say. Very good. All right, George. Take care, mate.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Good to have George on, and I'm sure that was nice for you as well, Mitch. Absolutely fantastic. Your dad's a top man. We're going to welcome on Chris now. Hi, Chris. How are you, mate?
Hi, lads. How's it going? Happy Christmas.
Yeah, happy Christmas to you too, mate. Any special plans for you? Are you going out for some kind of jog with your phone and Yannicka Rice?
I'm down with a dear friend and her family in East Sussex, and enjoying the fresh air outside of London. I didn't know that you could actually smell fresh air and look up and not see like smog and no stars and stuff like that. So it's great to be outside of London. I'll be back over the weekend, but yeah, it's good to get away. I haven't been outside of London in months, so.
Yeah, well, that's good, mate. That's good. A change is as good as a rest, as they say. And let's just hope the football doesn't spoil it. Have you got any message for the people who watch NUFC Matters, Chris?
Yeah, I just say keep the faith. we're Geordie, we're Newcastle fans. We've haven't seen a lot of the heights in years, but it's the faith that tomorrow will be a better day that's kept us going since 1955 for domestic trophies, and 1968 for any kind of hardware. But I think don't give up. Keep the faith. This obviously has been a tough time for people's mental health and everything. At the end of the day, it's just a game, and your life and your family is ultimately the most important thing. But I also just want to reach out and thank each of you guys for bringing me into the Matters family from the summer. Obviously not being from Newcastle, but adopting the Geordies as my team back in the 90s, and you guys have been very welcoming. Steve, thanks for bringing me on, and to Mitch and Steve for giving me good counsel, good feedback. Always fielding my questions about this and that having to do with Newcastle and the Northeast and the squad, and really making me feel welcome and like a second family sort of over here in the UK. So it's been something I've cherished during the lockdown, because not a lot of hope or sort of community, and you guys have been a great community, great sort of friends and family to just be building on things that I was leaving back home in the States, and I kind of visit there.
Chris, you've been a massive asset, mate, and you're part of the family, and it's been great to have you on. You have a great Christmas, mate, and look forward to seeing you on Match Day Live, hopefully on Boxing Day for the Man City game.
Thanks, you bet.
Take care, mate. God bless you.
Chris.
Bye-bye. Good to have Chris on. And next up, Spenny, how are you, mate? It's Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Have you all been good this year or what?
We've all been good, mate. Yeah, we've had no option. We've been in the house. Kind of get up to mischief when you're locked indoors. Great to see.
Watch here ready for tonight for his Christmas presents. A nice little watch. Casio, though.
Casio. What have you got, Steve Hasty?
I've got him a Fred Perry shell suit, because he always wears his Fred Perry stuff. So I thought, not bad. So he wrote down when he was 16. So never late than never, Steve.
Better late than never. I dread to ask what you've got me, Santa.
I've got you a pair of headphones because you keep cutting out all the time.
Can you not get us some decent Wi-Fi?
Well, there's that Richard Branson man. He's a crafty kid, isn't he?
Spenny, you've been a life and soul, mate. You've had your ups and downs throughout the lockdown, like everybody has, mate. But you've had to deal with a few trolls as well, which is unfortunately part and parcel of things. When you do what I always say, put your head above the parapet, mate. But you've dealt with them, you've got through it. I hope you're going to have a really good Christmas, mate, and you're going to have a bit of quality time with your family.
I'm going to have a tremendous Christmas, Steve. I want to wish me mate Stuart, who's over there with Mitch today, have a great Christmas as well, because you three and Mitch, Stewie, have been the bestest mates at the final Twitter. That's the truth. Merry Christmas all year.
Cheers, Penny.
Thanks, Penny. You take care, mate. Take care. We'll see you hopefully for one of the Match Day Lives over the Christmas period. If not, you will see Spenny's Newcastle United Dream Team. He's recorded one of those which will be shown over the next 7 to 10 days. But Spenny, thanks very much, mate. Take care. Great to see Spenny. And next up, somebody who we've got onto the retro show these days, it's Steve Wilkinson. How are you, Steve?
Hey. Hi, lads. How's Steve? Just like to say Merry Christmas to you all and everybody that's watching. It's been great being on the last 4 or 5 weeks and having a chance to research some of the stuff from the past. You know, you have the games in your memory and but you forget about them. And when you look through the record books and think, oh, yeah, I remember that now when things come back. And just again, thanks to you, Steve, for putting this show on regularly. I think certainly when I started, it's probably 6 or 7 months ago when I started watching it. It's been a long year, and to be able to listen, and watch. I tend to watch it the following day. I don't usually see it on the night, but I watch the following morning, and you know, some of the information from Liam and hearing the stories of Gibbo and Supermac reminiscent of the past, and then you three on a Friday night, which I usually watch on a Saturday morning. It's just, you know, your little snippets of what's going on, and you know, one thing it's as somebody, you know, definitely in your category of feeling confident that things will still happen. You know, the clues that are coming from this show and the others is great. So looking forward to it happening next year. Would have liked to have happened before January window. I'm not so sure it'll happen that quick, but we'll just have to see what happens, and hopefully, but we'll have survived, and by the end of the season, we'll be ripe for the future. So just like to wish everybody a happy Christmas, and I wish I was in the temperatures that Mitch has got over there, because it's really beaten down with snow. Here, I've just been out delivering presents. I live in Sunderland now. If you knew, and not far from the Stadium of Light, and the family's Sunderland fans. So when you ask them for a Newcastle shirt for tomorrow, it'll be a pleasure seeing them handing it over with a pair of tongs like he did last year. So
Brilliant! I love it. Great crack. Steve, listen, absolutely great to have you as part of the team. Look forward to getting you back on in the early part of next year for the next retro show. So I will be in touch. But you have a good Christmas, mate. Take care.
Right, and you. Good lad. Time on, lad.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers now. Bye now.
Take care. Good to have Steve Wilkinson on. Last up for the moment is somebody who we got to meet through the Takeover Talk, and it's our correspondent in Saudi Arabia, live from Starbucks or Costco's or his cinema room or wherever. We never know quite where he's going to be from. But Al Walid, welcome to you, mate. How are you?
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everyone. It's an honor to be in Three Amigos. I think I've been all shows of Steve, except Ladies' Night. So, yeah, it's an honor really to be with you guys. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope next year, inshallah, hopefully, I will spend it there in Newcastle, hopefully. I want to thank Steve especially, and all the NUFC Matters family for the good times, also for the difficult times we spent it together. I wish all Newcastle to be healthy with their families, and they spent the holidays peacefully and happy also.
Mashallah.
Cheers. Can I just tell Alwyd, since you've come on the show, I wish I was as calm, both internally and externally, as you are when you do your show or when you come on. Because I think the one thing that I've learned is that you have been able to look at things about Newcastle United far more rationally and sensibly than either of us three have managed to do at various times over the last 6 or 7 months, and it's given me a totally different insight at times into what goes on in football generally, and in particular the opinion of other people around the world, and especially you and your friends from Saudi, and it's been fascinating. And your calm, cool sort of outlook on Newcastle United is so refreshing. It really is. And please keep it up, because that's what's keeping us calm at times, believe you me.
I appreciate it. Really nice words to hear. I said before, and I love Premier League since I was a kid, and especially Newcastle United. And I'm really, really thankful for what you said. Appreciate it, Steve Heston.
Yeah, Al Walid, fantastic, man. I've got to say, the biggest honour for me this year was to come on to your show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great.
Yeah,
it was full of surprises.
I enjoyed the one I did as well.
Full of surprises, and going out to a new audience in a new country is something a bit different. I've enjoyed going on all these other podcasts and shows that I've done over the years, but to come on yours was something special, and I do feel that that's something which will increase, once the takeover goes through. I think that will be something which will be good for you. So keep doing what you're doing. Just want to repeat Steve Hasty's sentiments. Keep being you, Al Walid, because we love you for it, and you're a great guy. Thanks very much for being part of the family, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see you in a couple of days' time for the Manchester City game.
Hopefully, I'm honored, really, and I hope Newcastle players do something to make their families in the holidays happy tomorrow game. We don't want to win; we want good performance.
Yeah.
Enjoy your night.
Take care. Nice to have Al Walid on. Great to see him. Great to see him. Great to see him. We have got an interesting poll going on the Facebook page. Just search for NUFC Matters. It's on Facebook, and it all ties in with tomorrow's show, which is especially tonight's show. Sorry, at 6 o'clock. Who was the greatest number 9 between 1990 and 2020? Now, obviously, I think we all know who the greatest number 9 is. He's on the photograph there, but it's Liam Kennedy's top 9. Very interesting. Well worth a watch. 6 o'clock tonight on Facebook at the minute. We've had a hell of a lot of votes. Massive response to this. As you would expect, Alan Shearer is at number 1. Second place, Les Ferdinand. Third place is chopping and changing all the time between Andy Cole and Mickey Quinn. So, yeah, very, very interesting. But there's obviously a long time to go on that. Get your votes in on that now. Alan Shearer's winning by a landslide. But Les Ferdinand, Andy Cole and Mick Quinn are separated by 7 votes. So well worth popping onto the NUFC Matters Facebook page. Join the debate. And as I say, check out that show tonight with myself and Liam. It's a pre-record, but well worth a watch. And we have got a programme on every night over the Christmas period. Won't be live shows apart from the match day lives, of course, but plenty of stuff up there for you. A couple of great shows with Malcolm MacDonald, which were pre-recorded. One of which is this Super Mac, the England years, where Malcolm and Gibbo talk about Malcolm's wonderful England career and that 5-goal game against Cyprus. And we've also got the Road to Wembley 1976, where Malcolm and Gibbo talk about the 1976 League Cup run and that final that we played at Wembley against Manchester City. If you do like the content on here, just click the little emblem down on the right hand side of the screen there and subscribe as well. And don't forget to get your bids in on my Twitter at Steve Wraith. Last couple of minutes, last 10-15 minutes for that. All proceeds are going to go to the food bank. Steve, let's talk a little bit now about the Newcastle United consortium battle with the Premier League. There's been some developments on that today. It's made for interesting reading. They've had a letter, Steve, from the Premier League with regards to the information that got out there, and it's quite a threatening email or letter from the Premier League that they've had. I know we've been in touch with Keith a little bit over the last few days. We're hoping to catch up with them before the show, but we haven't managed to do that. But yeah, reading between the lines, it's there's a battle royale going to happen after Christmas.
Oh yeah, he's got them rattled, hasn't he? He's got them rattled, big style. I mean, for an organisation like the Premier League to put something out to them at this time of the year, just as everything's shutting down, just as people are going on holiday, that shows you what sort of an organisation they are. First of all, that's the sort of sly, snidey little sort of way that they obviously operate in the corridors of the Premier League. But what they're knocked about the fact that there's something being disclosed, and they've been leaking like a sieve since last February. For God's sake, who are they to talk about leaks? Who are they to talk about conversations outside the ether of a takeover? And what is that? What is their gripe? Their gripe is that they've been caught. They've been caught with their pants down, and somebody's done it. Somebody's pulled their pants down for them, and now they're embarrassed, and they're trying to attack the fan group. They're trying to attack the Newcastle United Fans Consortium. And it's just flabbergasting. It really is flabbergasting. But it does show two things. It shows that how important they obviously feel the fans consortium is, and it shows how fearful they are of them.
Yes.
Those two things put together tell me and tell you, Mitch, something really big is happening, and something really big has got them shook up.
Yeah, it's basically, Mitch, how it's described on the tweet from the Newcastle Consortium is, on the 23rd of December, we received a pathetic but threatening 4-page letter from Bird & Bird, courtesy of the EPL. We won't be deterred. We'll see you all in 2021 to continue our fight to hopefully deliver a fair and transparent takeover.
This is the classic bully's tactic. It's the hand-delivered solicitor's letter at 5 p.m. on a Friday. The equivalent of. It shows they're rattled. And this is why when we were saying get behind it, because any action can create pressure and you never know where the pressure is going to lead. There you go. It also shows how engaged the Premier League suddenly are with this. And as Steve rightly says, for them, talk about leaks is rich. Pots and kettles and all that. I mean, let's take you back to Benzaya Group. One of the things that pissed Benzaya Group off were leaks. Somebody went up to Mike Ashley with a copy of the heads of terms at the Champions League final and waved it in his face and said, we know what's happening. And I know Ashley was pissed at that, and BZG was super pissed at it. And where did that come from? How did a journalist get hold of that? And how did that then get out into the wider circles? So I was being emailed 5 or 6 versions of either the full version or a cropped version or whatever. I had it within about 24 hours. And there's only 2 places it could have come from. I know where BZG believe it came from, but I believe they're wrong. I suspect very much, seeing how they behave, I believe it come from the Premier League. And I've got no doubt that it come from the you and I, Steve, have discussed this at length over the last year. And the Premier League are quite happy to pass information out to trusted journalists via quote-unquote sources when it suits them.
Yeah.
Some of this doesn't suit them. And because it doesn't suit them, solicitor's letter. Classic bullies tactic. And the timing, just before Christmas, high rate. Like I say, it's the equivalent of a hand-delivered solicitor's letter at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. So then you sweat the entire weekend. You kind of dine out about it till 9 a.m. Monday. And that's pathetic. Is that really how the Premier League want to work? And I'd like to know more about who's directing it. Where's the thrust coming from? Is this solely the Premier League? Hoffman still is a name that flies under the radar and doesn't come into play at the moment. Or is it associated with somebody in the Big Six?
Yeah.
Are they pissed off because your project Big Picture got exposed? You know, there's always leaks from organisations in football. Always. We were talking about our leaky dressing room the other week. But there's things being leaked to other clubs about Newcastle United at the moment. I've had contact from 2 people at different clubs. Now to do Newcastle United, those 2 individuals happen to be Geordies, but they're very much embedded at clubs which are other football league clubs, talking about something that's happening at Newcastle now that they're being told all about. You know, so it very rarely stays in-house. It gets passed around. There is a small core of people who seem to be involved in everything, everywhere. And we're led to believe that they don't talk over a pint. Well, I suppose you can't do that in a minute, but you know what I mean. You know, you're telling me they don't communicate?
Yeah.
Bollocks.
I mean, well, let's face it, Mitch. We heard that 4 or 5 weeks ago that, as far as Project Big Picture was concerned, that Hoffman and Masters and the rest of the Premier League board were not at the races as far as decision was concerned. You know, I think the exact words we used was that the Premier League was out of control, and that Premier League was out of control because it was now being run by the Big Six, and every decision that was being made was being run by them, and that the executive board at the Premier League were merely lip spittle to what was required. Now, if that's true, that says an awful lot about the Premier League. That says an awful lot about the pressures that get brought to bear. But it also says an awful lot about the other clubs that are involved in the Premier League and where they're sitting and how strong they feel about, because this might be happening in Newcastle United today, but this could be any one of those 14 tomorrow. You know, and I don't think that. I think some of them feel as though that they're on borrowed time. But for some reason, the big six don't think they are. Now, Arsenal, there's a club for you. They don't feel as though that they're on borrowed time, who are sitting there in 15th position in the league, and they've got supporters talking about the possibility of relegation. You know, and whether they could survive. I actually listened to Martin Keown yesterday talking about it and thought that maybe he didn't think that they were good enough. You know, he thought they were better to go than being in a position to go down, and I just laughed at that. Absolutely.
I was talking. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of feedback here. I was talking to the Leeds lads the other day when I was watching the game with them, and the subject of Arsenal came up, and they said something very interesting about when they got relegated, and it ties in with when we went down with the Villa thing. That you had pundits saying, "Oh, they're too good to go down," and he said, "We thought we were too good to go down, and we went down." Everybody said, "No, they've got enough in the tank, they'll not go down." And he says, quite astutely actually, he says, "I look at Arsenal at the minute and say, yeah, they're all saying they're too good to go down. Both of our clubs know fine well that doesn't exist. Now, if you get yourself into a bother at the wrong time of the season and you've got the wrong type of players around you, you're toast." And that would be, out of the whole project big picture thing, the biggest irony of the lot. They say Arsenal swanning down the divisions on the back of all of this. It's quite frustrating, But I think we were made aware a couple of weeks ago about the situation with the Premier League effectively paying lip service and just basically doing what they were told by the big six, and I find that super disappointing. So I really would come back to know who's the driver for that letter and what they're actually trying to do, rather than just look like flat track bullies.
Yeah, what are they trying to achieve? What are they trying to achieve? Crazy.
And if there's nothing in this, why are they doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the mark of a very bad poker player to give everybody a tell.
It is. Good point. Just want to bring in Chris. Hi, Chris. How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you all? You all okay?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. You all ready for Christmas?
Yeah, well, nearly. I've got me Black & Decker. Going to start building in a minute.
Right.
Yeah, just good to have you on, mate. I mean, obviously, another late recruitment really to the NUFC Matters team, but a valuable one at that. Have you enjoyed your time on the show, mate, this year?
Yeah, do you know what, Steve? It's been fantastic. I wanted to just pop on just for a couple of minutes, obviously, to wish Steve, yourself, and Mitch, a happy Christmas, and just to thank you all, for all the content, that you all do, and also, just to say I've absolutely loved being involved.
Yeah, you've been a valuable part of the team, mate. Been great to have you on. Absolutely superb, Chris. Obviously, I presume for you, you'll be at home there this year and just spending time with the missus and the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So wouldn't have it any other way. Be a bit hectic, but it's what Christmas is all about, isn't it?
Well, it is, mate. Well, listen, thanks for all your contributions, mate. Look forward to seeing you again, and hopefully we'll get you on for one of the match day lives over the festive period, mate.
Great. Okay, you all take care. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, all the best, family, mate.
Take care, Chris. Lads, I do want to ask you, we've only got about 15 minutes left, as I say, we're only doing 1 hour today. I just want to ask you, Mitch, just your thoughts on some of the fan articles that have been floating around the internet over the last few days, and it appears as some of our fan base, how can I put it without ruining the festive mood? Seem to have it in for people who want the Saudi takeover, and seem to have it in for people who are positive about the Saudi takeover.
I think we've talked about this before, mate, and there is, and I understand it massively, a degree of takeover fatigue. Stuff's been going on for now 2 years from this part of the world, talking about takeovers and talking about what could happen and what might happen. I'm not surprised people are getting tired of it. And I can promise you, if you lads out there and lasses out there are getting tired of it, do you want to come and handle my inbox? It's, you know, and okay, in some respects, to make a rod with my own back, it goes with the territory. So it comes back to the head above the parapet situation. I guess I've had mine above the parapet so many times that I've got so many arrows through my brain, I don't care anymore. But I kind of get it. What I'm worried about in the coming weeks is, are we going to see some more of these splinters within the fan base that happen on a regular occurrence, and the mood on certain social media platforms like Twitter, for example. Let's be honest, Twitter can get quite vile at times at the moment. It can be terribly toxic. I don't want to see that. We don't need that, because it's not going to help in the current situation that we're in. It's ironic. We're actually at the point where I've seen tweets this week with I had a chat with Mark Corby from the Trust and True Faith about the situation with the manager and where we're at, and he made a very, very good point that he had lads from True Faith, lads from Gallagher Shots, and us, who he said had something like 37,000 years of experience between us, something like that. And we're all saying the same thing about Bruce, about the situation, that yes, we can understand where we are in the league and we've got to the cup quarter final, that some people might hold that up as a decent situation to be in. But we all know what we're watching on the pitch, and none of us are happy about it.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's got the right to express how they feel about that, the way they should have the right to express the way they feel in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think you're right.
What I don't want it to become, though, is personal and bitter, agenda-laden, and with ways to drive wedges between sections of the fan base again that we've only just started to sort of stick back together. At the minute, it's sort of held together with gaffer tape and chewing gum. And that's the problem, is that's the Ashley effect. That's what we've been through in the last 13, 14 years, is the divide and conquer that he managed to drive through the heart of the fan base. And it's funny, this last 2 weeks in particular, I found myself agreeing with more people who often I don't. Because I think there's a general mass realization of this actual gravity of the situation that we're in, and we know what we're looking at. And we're not stupid. Our fan base needs to be granted the gift and the goodwill of that we have got a level of football intelligence. We know what we're watching on the pitch. Even before you start looking at XG and all the stats everybody wants to wear on about at the moment. We know what we're looking at. We know where we're coming from. You could predict what was going to happen against Brentford through the week, no matter which team that Brentford put out. And what I don't want to see is these little hairlines starting to have wedges driven into the game, into them again, for no other good reason than people are frustrated. And I don't want to see we're turning on ourselves again. It doesn't serve anybody anyway. And that's not to say we've got to all get along and play nice. That's not to say, God, we three don't agree on everything all the bloody time and bat things around, There's never a party whip consensus from us three. So no. if we cannot do that, then God help everybody else. And so I think that's what I don't want to see happen. There's no need for it to become agenda-laden and become point-scoring and rubbish like that. That's not what we're here for. It's not what any of us here are for. And I hope that the intent is always kept positive.
Just before we go into that 30-second rant, Joe, I do want to bring another one of the NUFC Matters team in who's just coming on to say Happy Christmas, and that's Pete. How are you, Pete?
Good, thank you. How are you guys? You all good?
Good, man. Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you, mate. I've got to say that your little serenading of the Rafa Benitez song at the end just topped that off. Topped our Christmas video off, mate. Absolutely superb, mate. I didn't realise you had it, didn't you?
No, I've become a different animal when I'm in the stadium. I've got to be honest. I'm quite relaxed and reserved, and less unless I'm on Match Day Live and I'm getting frustrated at the game. But look, the way I am on Match Day Live is kind of how I am on match days in the stadium. I just go like full throttle. I just want us to get 3 points and want us to play good football, and it's frustrating when it doesn't happen. So yeah, plenty of those chances in the locker. Don't worry about that, Steve.
Good stuff. All set for Christmas, Pete?
Just about, yeah. Everything's done. Just wrapping the wife's final few presents. Been watching the old classic Home Alone with the kids, getting them used to that early doors, and yeah, just about ready now. So yeah, how are you guys? You guys all ready? All set?
All good at this end. All good at this end as well. Yeah, good stuff.
Just wanted to say, really, wanted to come on just to say, firstly, a massive thanks to you, Steve, for allowing me the opportunity to be part of, the NUFC Matters community. It's been a fantastic ride. Met some fantastic people like yourself, Steve, Mitch, as well. It's been a really, really sort of a fantastic ride. As I've said, over the last year, it's been a really, really difficult year. But for the three of you in particular, with the three amigos, it's really kept me going. I have to say, it's been as I've said, it's been a really difficult year, a real struggle at times with everything going on in the world. And you know what? The one thing I've always looked forward to is a Friday, 6 p.m. Three amigos listening to you three, just chew the fat really about Newcastle, and it's just great because look, we're all first and foremost, we're all massive Newcastle fans. We love the club, we want the best for the club, and it's just great to hear like-minded people that have had so many more experiences than myself over the years of supporting the club, and just hearing those little bits of information, little snippets of stuff that I wouldn't have known otherwise if it wasn't for you three. It's just been a fantastic. To hear that, so massive thanks to you guys.
Oh, thanks, mate. It means a lot, and lots of comments coming in. Just wishing you all the best as well. I'm sure you want to say something to the people watching.
Definitely. Honestly, the feedback and the comments that we read through, we really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate it personally. Just Merry Christmas to everyone, and pray and hope for a miracle on Boxing Day.
Yeah, and Keith Rule gets in what I was going to say, but he says, Happy Christmas to you and everyone from at Geordie's down south. Give Pete's other show a follow. The lads do a great job, always chewing the fat about Newcastle afterwards, and Clinton and the lads, it's always great to have them on, guesting on the odd occasion as well. But you have a great day, Pete, with the family. Hopefully see you for Match Day Live on Boxing Day.
100%, guys. You take care. Merry Christmas to you all.
Take care, mate. God bless you. And next up, we've got Sav. Hiya, Sav. How are you? There's Sav there. And Richard. Sav and Rich, how are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
I am, yes.
Yeah, good to see you. Sav, will come to you first. Ladies first, Sav. Are you all set? You've got your Christmas jumper on there. Have you got the dogs one?
The dogs haven't got jumpers because I've spent out on them a bit. I don't want to really talk about it, in front of them.
Obviously.
But, it's all hidden up. They're like kids. Honestly, I've been hiding it. I'm going to have to get into a different room tonight to wrap their presents, but then they'll just be barking at the door. Oh, nightmare. But,
well, as long as you haven't got them a bone or something, they'll not find it.
No, I haven't got them anything like that. No, I bought my own presents this year, and I'm going to wrap them, and then, like a sado, get up in the morning and open them.
I've got to be honest, Sav. You must be one of the hardest people to buy for, because what we learned about you in the early days of NUFC Matters was that you just you're a bit of an impulse buyer, especially as far as Newcastle tops are concerned.
I'm a drunken buyer, because I always go, I'm not buying that. I'm not going to buy it, because everyone's going to have a go at me, and then in the end, I just get really blackout drunk, and it arrives at the door, and I'm like, oh, for Christ's sake. I don't know how I remember my credit card details when I'm not even, I can't even remember it myself.
Brilliant. Rich, are you all set for Christmas, mate?
All the wrapping's done for the three kids, thankfully. We've got one little trip out later on just to pick up a nice take-out Italian from our favourite restaurant. We normally go out for family meals on Christmas Eve, but obviously this year we can't do the cinema, you can't go out. So we're taking it in. We're going to watch a nice festive movie tonight and get the kids in bed early.
Excellent, mate. Well, listen, you have a good Christmas. It's great to have the pair of you on together. You've been a big asset to the show. I know, Rich, you've only really just started coming on. You did reach out and say you'd be up for it, which is great. So thanks to you, Rich. Any message for the viewers, Rich?
quite a few messages for everyone, actually. I want to first of all say thanks to my wife because of the
Oh, he's gone. We'll get him back. He does have these problems with the internet. Sav, over to you. Just give us, a quick Christmas message for everybody watching.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for all the positive comments that I get. You know, I've never been the most confident person. I think this is the first time that people have actually given a crap what I have to say, which is actually quite refreshing because half of it's a little bit blonde and doesn't make a lot of sense, but people don't mind listening to it, which helps me. I think since I've been on the show, my confidence has just risen. And thank you for that, Steve. And thank you for believing that I wasn't actually a guy, because that was what started it all. So, so yeah, massive thank you. And well done, you three. Friday night's brilliant.
Oh, fantastic. Sav, you've been a massive asset and we're really pleased to have you on. Ladies' Night is really, it's our show, but it's your show, and you do a cracking job on there. And you just have a great Christmas, and thanks for being part of the NUFC Matters community. Rich, you got cut off in your prime, thanking your wife. Are you still there, or are you pausing now?
He looks frozen.
He is, sadly. Well, listen, Sav, have a great Christmas. I hope the dogs enjoy their presents and you enjoy your day, and we will see you very soon. Take care.
Yeah, see you soon. Bye.
Bye, Sav. Bye, Sav. Rich is back, got his internet issues sorted out. Go on, Rich, you were in mid-flow. You just thanked the wife.
Yeah, I wanted to thank the wife first of all, because I'd had Twitter since about 10 years, never used it. And she said, if you're going to be bothered about this takeover malarkey, you need to get on Twitter. And thankfully, that introduced me to, obviously I knew about you, Steve, anyway, from all your fanzine history and your stuff around here. But obviously then I got to obviously know Steve and Mitch as well, and the Three Amigos shows. I can't watch every single show every single week. I watch the Three Amigos, Liam's, and I watch Ladies' Night. Unfortunately, other things with being a full-time carer gets in the way. But I suffer from mental health issues, and I've been in counselling all this year because we've pretty much been shielding for all of this year, which has been horrific. I think we had about 6 to 8 weeks where we were allowed to really go out. But your shows got me through that. The positivity that you always have regards to the takeover going through, it's common sense what you are saying every single week. Join the dots, as Liam always says as well. But you've really got me through that. And then obviously for Steve to then invite me on the show and now be part of the NUFC Matters crew, on Match Day Live, it's given me something to look forward to on a day-to-day basis. And when you've got mental health problems and you feel like everything's like a groundhog day, when it is when you're actually, especially when you're stuck in lockdown as well, you don't know how much that means to me. Also, some of the feedback that I get through from the other NUFC Matters family, and also the community that actually watches these shows, it's absolutely fantastic. And I'd just like to say Merry Christmas to every single one of you, and have an even better 2021.
Yeah, you too, Rich. You're a valuable member of the team. Great to have it on, and I hope you have a much better year. I know it's tough, and it's tougher for people, who are carers. But listen, you do a great job, mate. You do a great job at home. You just have a great time with your kids and the missus, and look forward to hopefully seeing you on Boxing Day for the Man City game.
Fingers crossed, there. Fingers crossed.
All the best.
Take care. Take care. Now, we did say we'd finish at 4. I've got the drink ready, lads. I want to wish you a happy Christmas for everything you've and thanks for all your support and everything you've done. I hope you all have a great Christmas with your family, lads.
And you, Steve.
Cheers,
You
Steve.
deserve a long break. I was talking to a couple of pals earlier. Somebody told me that Bruce had 2 games to salvage his career at Newcastle, and I sent that message to my pals, and I think it was Paul that got in quick, followed by Tony, followed by Craig, followed by Ants, followed by John, who all said, why they're waiting 2 games for then? Because if they're giving him 2 games, he might as well walk now. You know what? I really, really hope that's not the situation. I hope we do pick up points in the next 2 games and the next 3 games. But stranger things have happened. And we're going to go into this with a little bit of positivity, Steve. It's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day tomorrow, and let's see where we're heading. But thanks to you guys, you've helped me get through this as well. I think as a family, it's been tremendous.
Cheers, lads. I just want to thank everybody who is in the chat as well, because without those guys who messages come up on the screen, Tom Dixon and Tom Lynch, the 2 Toms, massive supporters of the show, Keith, Julie, all of the guys who are regularly in the chat. chatting amongst themselves. They've kept it clean. I think we've had one day of trolls since March where people have tried to hijack it with a load of racism. We managed to get rid of that. But I think, listen, it's great. It's your show. It's our show because we put it together. But you know what? It's been absolutely superb to have all of this support from the Newcastle United community, and we've got through it with everybody. So I hope all of you at home and all of you in the chat have a great Christmas. But as I say, we've done our best. We've put a load of shows together, so you've got your fix of NUFC matters all the way through. We will be back for the live match day lives as well. So at least you'll still be able to have a moan and groan to us about what's going on at the club. And listen, absolutely fantastic. I did see Nathan and Alicia as well in the chat. Big thanks to them and everybody else who takes part in the shows. The likes of Kendall and Katie and Samantha, Liam, Malcolm MacDonald, Gibbo, everybody who's a big part of the team and the community who didn't manage to get on and say Merry Christmas. I know that they're all saying the same to you. But Steve Hasty, Mitch, until we meet again on the other side, you have a great time with the family and I'll speak to you soon. And let's play out with our little festive video. I think it's a good one to finish with. Take care, lads. God bless you.
Cheers, everyone.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a Pavel in a jersey.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a jersey.
On the third day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 3 John Beresfords, 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a jersey. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 Nobby Solanas, 3 John Beresfords, 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a jersey.
On the fifth day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 5 Peter Jacksons, 4 Nobby Solanas, 3 John Beresfords, 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a jersey.
On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 Steve Howies, 5 Peter Jacksons, 4 Nobby Solanos, 3 John Beresfords, 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a jersey.
And on the 7th day of Christmas, my true love said to me 7 Cantonals.
No, Jamie, stop that now. This is the Newcastle United 12 days of Christmas, not the Manchester United 12 days of Christmas. And how many times have I told you? There's only one United.
Oh, sorry, Steve, mate.
On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 7 Rob Lees, 6 Steve Howies, 5 Peter Jacksons, 4 Nobby Solanos, 3 John Beresfords, 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a jersey. Merry Christmas, everybody.
On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 8 Peter Beardsley, 7 Rob Lees, 6 Steve Howies, 5 Peter Jacksons, 4 Nobby Solanos, 3 John Beresfords, 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a jersey.
On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 9 Alan Shearer's, 8 Peter Beardsley, 7 Rob Lee, 6 Steve Howies, 5 Peter Jacksons, 4 Nobby Solanos, 3 John Beresfords, 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a jersey.
On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 10 Lee Clarks, 9 Alan Shearers, 8 Peter Beardsley's, 7 Robert Lees, 6 Steve Howies, 5 Peter Jacksons, 4 Nobby Solanos, 3 John Beresfords, 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a Geordie jersey.
On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 11 Gary Speeds, 10 Lee Clarks, 9 Alan Shearers, 8 Peter Beasley's, 7 Rob Lees, 6 Steve Howies, 5 Peter Jacksons, 4 Nobby Solanos, 3 John Beresfords, 2 Warren Bartons and a Pavel in a jersey.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love said to me 12 Kevin Keegans, 11 Gary Speeds, 10 Lee Clarks, 9 Alan Shearers, 8 Peter Beasleys, 7 Rob Lees,
6 Steve Howie's, 5 Peter Jacksons, 4 Nobby Solano's, 3 John Beresford's, 2 Warren Barton's, and a Pavel in a jersey.
Hello everybody, happy Christmas to Newcastle fans from the Cernicek family.
Christmas would not be Christmas without a chant for the great man. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to Rafa Benitez. Away, lads!